And today I'll start with a lab from 8 to 9, open lab for both DRFT131 and 132. If and I'll send it live if there are uh, people attending. And so let's take a look at the modules and then what we have to do today. So here we'll talk about XREFs, review homework assignment 1 and issue drawing assignment 2. Okay. And let me review the homework assignment 1 first. So let me go to the modules, the assignment 1 here. There we go. And we're going to open that. And so all the tools that are here are very simple tools that we can use to work with multiple drawings in AutoCAD. So the idea is that you may have drawings that you want to reuse. And so these tools would allow you to do that. So I'm going to open my drawing, and then we're going to share that. Okay, so the first tool that we want to look at is copy clip and paste clip. Those are the same tool, only different stages. And very simple, right? If I want to, let me see if I can open another drawing, cardboard plan. There we go. So if I want to have an object from this drawing, for example, I want to reuse this grid line with the this section symbol with the line, I select the object and then right click, clipboard, copy. That's the process of doing copy in AutoCAD. Or I could also do Control C, right? Same thing. So we do clipboard copy. Once again, to start it, select the objects, right click, clipboard, copy. And now I go to the other drawing and I do right click, clipboard, and paste. And that brings in the object I want to. So that's a very simple tool to use to get content from one drawing to the other. All right, so that's the first tool. Then I'm going to do the XClip. Well, let's do the XREF first, and then we'll talk about XClip and RefEdit. In regarding the homework, and then I'm going to talk more about XREF a little bit more in depth. So I could also then do that. Let me delete that because I'm not doing anything there. So maybe I want to bring this content as an XREF. So I'm going to do, make sure this is saved in the right place, save as. And we're going to go to Documents and DRFT131 and copyright. So I am in this drawing and I want to bring that other drawing as an XREF. So I'm going to type XR, select the drawing that you want to use, attach, and then dialog box, go to my folder, the folder I want to use, and select the drawing you want to bring in. So that's the XREF. I just use the XREF tool, and now I can see a drawing inside the other drawing. So that's another way of combining drawings, right? And that's the idea on this homework. what are the tools that we have to combine content? Some of them, now all of them. Now that I have an XREF here, I can also work on editing the XREF. If I want to edit the XREF, there are two options. I can open the XREF, so I click, right click and open, and this will open the XREF file. See, I am now back on the XREF file. Or I could do, I'm going back to my current drawing, select the XREF, right click, edit XREF in place. This is an option that allows me to keep, to edit the XREF with the additional benefit of looking at the context that that XREF is in. When I did open XREF, it opens the XREF drawing originally, so I don't see the current drawing anymore. But if I do open XREF edit in place, I'm sorry, then this is what's going to happen. So click edit in place, and now click OK. This says it's open, so I need to close it. Right, select it, right click, edit in place, then OK. And now, see, I am within this drawing. I can edit it, but I'm also in the current drawing. I can see the context that I have for this editing to happen. So edit in place is a special way of doing this so that I can see or have the context of my current drawing. Now, once you are done editing the XREF or changing anything you want to, then you right click and select close ref edit session. That's very important. If you don't close the ref edit session, then you can now work on these other drawings. See? And so close ref edit session and save or discard. And now I am back on the current drawing. The XREF, of course, still there. And so those are the tools that I'm talking about here. Another tool that we have, remember from drafting 130 is the Xclip, right? If I type XC, I can access the Xclip and select the XREF, press enter, select new boundary, rectangular is always easy, and then you create a boundary that only selects one part of the XREF. So the XREF is still there, but maybe I don't need everything to show on this current drawing. So I can use the Xclip to just show a partial area. Let's do it again. Right, the whole XREF is there, but I don't want to see a lot of stuff. Maybe I just want to see this top area. So I select it. I do Xclip, sorry. Select Xclip, select the XREF, press enter, new boundary, rectangular, and then done. And so the Xclip tool creates a window so that we can only see one part of the XREF and not everything. Now, the whole XREF is there still, right? If I try to move it, for example, you're going to see, oh, it's not showing the whole thing, but yeah, it is there. I could modify the Xclip. I can get the grips, and you can see that it's just a window that masks, a masking window that masks areas of the XREF. All right, so that's it. I don't want it anymore. I can type XC, select the object, enter, and turn it off. And it goes away. So now that we have those tools reviewed, let's look at the questions, right? Answer the following questions. How do you copy objects from one drawing to another? Well, you do copy clip, or copy and paste. A lot of people refer to that process as copy and paste, and we can do that. We can also say copy clip and copy paste. What is XREF for? Well, remember that the XREF, and like I said, we're going to talk a little bit more about that, is an external reference drawing, meaning that we bring in a drawing into our current drawing for reference purposes only. The drawing is not part of our current drawing, and it's only there visually, although it will be there if you print the drawing, right? What is the purpose of clipping an XREF? XREF clipping. Well, the purpose of the XREF clipping is to isolate a portion or an area on the XREF drawing that is where you want to concentrate. You only want to see that part. You may not need to see the whole XREF. Can external reference be edited? Yes, they can. You can edit external references. What are the two ways of editing the external references? Well, we can edit in place or open the XREF. How did you exit a drawing without exiting AutoCAD? That's an interesting question. Remember that we're trying to have many drawings open at the same time. And so I have this one, which is the carport floor plan, and I have the assessment drawing here. So how do I exit a drawing? Well, I can go to application button and close, or I can just click on the X here, right? And then you close that. Now, if you want to close the whole AutoCAD, you are going to use this procedure, go to A and then close, or just click close on the X on the overall right corner there. So, but it's different, right? There is a difference between closing one drawing and or closing multiple drawings. Another thing that we don't talk too much about, I don't think we talk at all, is that you can actually have two sessions of AutoCAD open, right? For example, I have AutoCAD here, and that's one session of AutoCAD. But if I click on the icon of AutoCAD in my on my desktop, I can open a new session of AutoCAD that can be open at the same time as this one that I'm currently working with. And so let's do that. So I'm opening AutoCAD, a different session, not the one that I already have. All right, and so now it opened, and you can see that I have two AutoCAD sessions open. These are not two drawings. These are two completely different sessions of AutoCAD. And we can do that. We can open the session of AutoCAD. And then I can do more work, and I can copy and paste from one to the other as well. So I can have multiple drawings open, and I can have different sessions of AutoCAD open at the same time. Let me close this. Three advantages of attaching XREF drawings as XREF over inserting them as blocks. In Drafting 130, we looked at blocks, and we talk about what they are. Blocks are drawings that can be reused over time. For example, the drawing of a desk chair, I can bring into my drawing and reuse it as a block. What is the difference between blocks and XREF? Well, or advantages of attaching drawings as XREFs. Well, if I attach a drawing as an XREF, it's not part of the current drawing, so it doesn't overload my drawing. Also, another advantage is that I am not opening the actual file. I'm just bringing a visual reference into my current drawing. So somebody else could be working on the original XREF drawing. So it allows for teamwork, and that's actually one of the main purposes of the XREF tool. And then another option would be advantage of using XREF over inserting them as blocks is that you can update the XREF once, and then it's updated everywhere you were using it, right? And so that only happens with XREFs. Now, list the three advantages of inserting drawings of blocks. Well, the opposite of the advantages of the XREF. Well, one, for example, if I send a drawing with XREFs via email, the XREFs are not going to go with the drawing, the current drawing, unless I use e-transmit. With blocks, that doesn't happen. The block is part of the drawing, so I can send them in a transmittal. So blocks are part of the drawing. That is an advantage. Another one is that that the opposite, I said, of the XREF is that nobody else can open the drawing. Sometimes that is an advantage. By having the drawing as a block, I have complete control of that object. Nobody is going to modify it unless I do, right? And the other advantage is that yeah, it will be part of an email transmittal if I decide to send the drawing on, because it's part of the drawing. Two ways to update XREFs in master drawings. Well, edit in place and open XREF. How do you remove an external reference from a drawing? That's a great question, right? So what we do is we type XR or go to the XREF dialog box, and then any of the drawings that are there, we are going to right-click on that XREF, and then we are going to detach. So let me do XREF by tree view. And so I could detach this right away, right? Right-click and detach. That's how we delete an XREF. Let's see if that's the question. Yes, how do you remove an external ref? And those are the questions. So hopefully you send this on time so that I can review. Okay, moving on. Let's let me talk about the next drawing. Okay, so we're gonna look at the new drawing, drawing 2. So based on the as-built drawing that you just did, we want to create a floor plan for the drafting rooms, showing a room and furniture arrangement that creates 2 classrooms that are as equal as possible in size and capacity in the existing classrooms area. So let me open that again. So these are the classrooms area, right? Here is the small classroom, and this is the largest classroom. And so what we want to do here is to create 2 classrooms, but as equal as possible. So you need to design that. What's the next requirement here? And a little, and we're going to design also the layout for a materials library and conference room in the existing office area. So this area over here needs to be redesigned to be a materials library for the interior design program, and in a conference room. So what I foresee this being is a layout with a conference room availability where we have maybe a TV, we have a coffee table, and then we have a space on the walls to lay out materials for interior design. Um, so that's the brief of the project. And then once you're ready to present, this is the format that you need to use and publish. There are a couple things that we want to review in this project. First of all, anytime that we want to create a new layout of a space, um, that is a public space or an institutional space like a school, we need to comply with what's called the ADA Act. And also, of course, we need to comply with what's known as the California Building Code. So the ADA Act, let's look at that. Let's look at the Wikipedia to see what it is. It's the Americans with Disabilities Act, and it was passed in 1990. Civil rights law that prohibits discrimination based on disability. Okay, and so it means that in any space that we design, in this case, a space for an institution like a school, we need to make sure that we provide access for people with disabilities. And what it means for us, for example, is that if this classroom is to have a teacher, the location of the desk for that teacher needs to be accessible, meaning that if the teacher has disabilities, needs to be able to access from the entrance to the desk, right? My desk currently sits over here, so I will have to be able to go from the door all the way to the desk with the disabilities, with the path of access. And that requires a specific space for a person in wheelchair, for example. In terms of the students in these classrooms, we recently, well, like 10 years ago, no, maybe 7 years ago, this classroom was redesigned. And so the analysis that the designers did was that for the 25 students that needed to be here, 2 of those desks needed to be accessible, as well as the desk for the teacher. And so of the 25 desks, 2 are accessible. And what that means is it's a special kind of desk. You're going to have to research that. Not only a special kind of desk, but also it needs clearances on the sides for accessibility. Also, not only the ADA needs to be complied with, but as I said, we need to also comply with the California Building Code. And some of the requirements for that are here. I'm going to open this image. And now you can see some measurements here that show you compliance with CBC, the distance from the desk to the wall. Compliance with CBC, the distance from one desk to another. The distances between chairs and such. And also you see the information required for the ADA. And so that's what you need to review and try to figure out what needs to happen. But these are minimum requirements from ADA and CBC. CBC is California Building Code. Now, when we have these 2 agencies governing our work, of course, the one that needs to be implemented is the one that has the larger space, right? Because the other one will fit. And then also there is a memo here from the time that we did the remodel. Maybe it has a date because I don't remember exactly when it was. Oh, 2012, yeah, 8 years ago, 9 years ago. It talks about this memo from the architect team in charge, talks about why they did what they wanted to do, and they're proposing some options to us, or they were proposing. That's where this diagram comes from. They also analyze the possibility of creating a new workstation layout. Seems that this could work better than the regular desks that we currently have. And so maybe that's something that you want to explore too. We are open to all of those options. Then we see a layout here for the classrooms in which that workstation arrangement is applied. One thing that we don't have in this assignment you're going to do is this center area. We are no longer wanting to have that. We want to have only two CAD labs or drafting labs. And so now remember that it needs to be your idea. You can apply these concepts that the architects had, but it needs to be your own idea, right? And so there is another version here with straight out desks. And as a matter of fact, this is what got built, except that this doesn't happen the part in the center. But, you know, if you remember our classroom, both of you took classes there, and probably everybody in this class, this is the layout, right? Only that there's no center area there. So please study those documents and make sure that you start working on the project. The project is due on February 10th. And I think there's a review on February 10th. Let me look at that. No, it's due on February 10th. So if you have any questions on that, you can come to the open labs. Also remember our lab teaching assistant has open labs also Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays that you can work with him as well. He's very familiar with the project as well on this particular project. And now there are a couple of articles here about XREFs. So make sure also to review that. And there's a lecture here that talks about the XREFs as well. I will talk more about that in the next class as we go too. But remember, XREF, type XR for the XREF dialog box. And then you can select here the drawings that or objects that you want to attach. It could be images, it could be PDFs, or a drawing. There is an icon here on the right side that allows you to change the view. This is a list view, and this is a tree view. If we put a tree view, let me do an XREF. Now you can see that there is another drawing XREF, and there are some other drawings that are part of that drawing. So with the tree view, you can see linked drawings that are XREF in other drawings. If I go to the list view, that doesn't show. So that's a good thing to do. We will explore later these options on the right click of the XREF dialog box, as well as the concept of the path. Anytime that we bring an XREF in, it has a path. And the path can be absolute or relative. And that has a different meaning in the way that the XREF will show if I open the drawing again. All right, so that's all for tonight. Thank you very much for being here. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll be hanging in until 7:30 if you have any questions.
Hey, Armando.
Yeah. Hey.
I have a question. It's not directly related to this class. It's about adding a class.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just I have to switch around. Which I was like registered for an extra class and need to get one more in the drafting department, and I'm trying to add. I've emailed one of the other professors, I think, for landscape architecture, but
Yeah.
any number of classes I can do architectural drafting 1 or 2, architectural rendering 1 or 2, landscape drafting 1 or 2, or principles of residential construction.
That we don't open that. We don't offer that anymore.
Okay. Do
So
you
you could do landscape drafting or rendering, but rendering is only offered in the fall.
do you have any of those open this semester? Yes.
We have landscape drafting, yes.
Do you have architectural drafting?
Architectural rendering, we don't. We have drafting 120 and 121, but you already took those, right?
Not 120. It says that's one of the classes I can take.
Oh, you can take 120 then, yeah.
Yeah. Do you have I need course ad codes though for adding classes.
Sure, I'll send you an ad code for that then.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I can do that right now. Hold on. Um, for 120, right?
Yeah.
That's architecture drafting 1. And then you can take architecture drafting 2 later, or you can take them both concurrently, but that'll be a huge load.
I don't think I can take any more classes. But
Just one. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah.
Okay, 1 second. I'm gonna give you a code. 120. And you are in this class. So let me find your information. All right, I got your K number here, so I'm going to use that. Copy. And you should get an email anytime now.
Awesome. Cool.
Okay, so let me know if there's anything else. Hopefully that works.
For the Revit projects, for you mentioned like royalty free stuff. If I can't like determine that necessarily, does it matter too much? If, like I'm not selling what we're doing, if it's just for the class for like educational purposes.
No, to start, anything is okay to start. And, once I see the idea that you have or the project you have selected, then I'm going to be telling you, let's do this or that. Let's modify it. Let's make it better.
Okay, because I found some things that could be a beach house floor plan I can start from, but I don't know if it's like technically.
Well, just bring it to the next time that we talk about, or if you have it now, I can look at it.
I mean, I haven't, it's just, I got it from a webpage where I'm looking at it, there's like a price associated with it. And like, there's a whole, you can buy like a PDF package. So like, I don't know if I'm
No,
supposed
no, no. Unless you want to do that, I'll suggest don't do it. Just go and look for royalty free
so just make sure
and
it's
try
not.
to find something that looks like something you like, and and then we can modify it if needed. I'll let you know if I think it can be better.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right.
All right.
Great. Anything else?
No, it should take care of it.
Okay.
Cool. All right, good night.
All right. Me too.
Hey, Armando, how's it going?
Hey, Raul. Good.
So I ran into this problem last class with my drawing. It's with the font. I'm sure you remember me trying to figure out how to fix it. Can I show you my screen?
Yeah. Let me see. Let me stop my share. And let's see if you're available. Yeah, go ahead. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I totally forgot how to fix this.
Yeah, what you need to do is you started doing work without the. Show me your textiles first. So click on the textiles. And,
I created a whole new style for text because I
yeah,
couldn't
remember
figure
that
out.
you only need to have titles, subtitles, and notes. I'd like you to use those terms, not style 1 and style 2. So
Okay.
why don't we do this? Go to textiles dialog box. Yeah. And now let's do this. See if you can delete the notes. Oh, it says in use.
Yeah.
Some things are in use there. So do this and rename style 1 to rename it, right click rename or double click, yeah. Change it to notes. Oh, but it's too big. No, that's fine. And then change the text height to 3/32. Put notes 1, new notes or something. And change the height to 3/32. Okay, now let's go to subtitles. 316 is fine, and titles 1/4. So set current and then close. All right, now let's do this. Change the scale of this view here on the bottom right corner there and make it 1:1 and then go back to actually 3/16. Yeah, everything is really big. So either you redo all the annotations, you delete all of these and do it again, or select one of the lines of text and then right click, do annotative object scale, add delete scales. And keep only the 316. Select the other ones and delete them.
Okay, I remember this.
All right, and so you need to do that for all of them.
Okay.
It's not that difficult because that's the only problem. So
Yeah, not at all.
okay.
Okay, cool. Thanks a lot, Armando. Appreciate it again.
You're welcome. How did it go with the installation?
I got Revit. Yeah, I finally figured out
Okay, good.
Revit. It was the browser. For some reason, it didn't like the Google browser, so that worked out great.
Good. Well, I'm glad you did that.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Okay. Any other questions?
I think that's, oh, for the 121 class, are we doing let me see, click on it over here. So I just got the access code for the online textbook.
Yeah.
Are we supposed to do the workbook online too?
The
Like
questions, there are some questions that you need to answer. That's all you need to do.
Okay.
And just go to, if you go to the chapters in Canvas, it allows you to access some of the chapters there. If the homework or assignment deals with that, then you can do it from Canvas. If not, it's just from the book and answering the questions.
Okay. Good deal.
Okay.
All right, Armando, that's about it. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Thank you. No problem.